Jesse, what comes next here?
Well, I think, from our perspective, the first thing that really needs to happen is that the Pima County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Nanos need to clear Carlos's name. They need to make this right. They've falsely arrested an innocent man. They've subjected his family to misery, humiliation, handcuffs, and there's no evidence.
So look, I understand that like this isn't going to crack the case or whatever, but we don't have any new progression in the public eye right now, and I think it's important to call out the mistakes that have happened along the way because we shouldn't settle for this in any missing persons case. And if we have this kind of stuff happening at such a high profile level, then you can only imagine the issues that we have for somebody like Joe Blow, you and I, right? So I want to talk about the mistakes here, especially with Carlos, especially now that he's come out, right, and talked about this. So I see this interview pop up, and I see them talking about the whole situation that happened, and they only call out Pima County. They never talk about the FBI in that entire interview, and I thought that was interesting. And then I started kind of thinking back to it, and I was like, well, actually, there really wasn't a lot of FBI presence on that detention in Rio Rico. Seems like it was all the sheriff's office and the Pima County division. And then I remembered, well, but on the one that we just had with the three detainees, there was hella FBI presence. So, and it was an FBI search warrant, we ended up learning. And then I hear them talk about their educated suspicion.
Our understanding is that they obtained the search warrant they obtained that allowed them to search Carlos's vehicle and his family's property through the use of a secret affidavit. As far as we know, that affidavit is sealed and remains sealed. And, our suspicion, our educated suspicion, is that this has something to do with cell phone pings.
So here's my theory. I think that Carlos may have worked for the same company because Amazon contracts out. It's not just directly Amazon. There's a lot of like third-party delivery companies. So I believe that's probably what Carlos is works for, not just DoorDash. Maybe he was DoorDashing in the area. I don't know. But there's that package or delivery that was on Nancy Guthrie's front porch, and it wasn't there during the event of the crime, but it showed up afterwards when everybody was at Nancy's house. Anyways, I think that maybe Carlos worked for the same company if he wasn't the one that actually delivered it, because they've never talked about it. They never said that. I mean, at this point, I would think he would be like, yeah, I delivered the package to her house because I was on a delivery. I just didn't pay attention, right? But I kind of theorized that from the beginning. But I think that this was more he was in the area and Pima County jumped the gun on it. And now they have a huge issue.